The member for Bateman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Homelessness. I refer to the McGowan Labor government's commitment to reducing homelessness in Western Australia, and I ask, can the Minister outline to the House the actions that this government is taking to reduce homelessness by providing accommodation for rough sleepers? And can the Minister advise the House if he is aware of any alternative policy approaches?
The Minister for Homelessness.
I want to thank the member for her question. Last week I spent 2 hours sitting with about 30 to 40 organisations at the Rough Sleeper Coordination Group. This is a group that meets around a fortnightly basis to make assessments about rough sleepers. This was a group that we helped establish as part of a wider package of reforms to drive better outcomes from the huge investment being made in the homelessness arena. What was very apparent to me, sitting in that 2 hours and just listening, was that the issue of trying to break the cycle of rough sleeping is deeply complex, and that for outreach workers, they would outline the years that they have taken to develop relationships with rough sleepers to help them move to the next part of the cycle. So it is very complex. It is a challenge. It is not as the opposition, and we saw it with the Leader of the Opposition's claims today about Bulu Biddy Maya, just throwing a building full of people. It doesn't work like that, and it is disappointing to see the deliberate ignorance by the opposition on these matters. I announced a major reform package, and as part of that is around the housing first approach and assisting rough sleepers to get into accommodation. And so I announced, after a substantial time of review, of looking at buildings in the city, that we would purchase the Murray Street Lodge, a 30-room building, to assist people to break that cycle. And so I also announced on the 12th of January that we would be investing with a community provider to run that facility. Now, that's on top of a range of other reforms, including additional funds, but also our 100 Social Homes program, where we will spot purchase homes and then refer rough sleepers to those homes with support, recognising it's likely to be in the same area of which they currently have a street presence. Now, I want to say on the record that the key leaders in the sector applauded this. Rua, recognised as a credible provider, said, "We applaud the continued steps this government is taking towards addressing chronic rough sleeping and ending homelessness in our state." Shelter WA, the other key leader in the sector, we congratulate Minister Carey on this announcement and commend him on the momentum he is building in this space. And the WA Alliance to End Homelessness, David Pearson, we commend the government's leadership on housing first. This investment will change lives. The three most credible leaders in the homelessness space. And so this is where the politics kicks in. This is where the opposition, at every opportunity, can never once say this is a good initiative. There was one sole voice criticising this proposal, and that was the Honourable Steve Martin. He attacked it. So I'm interested to know what the solutions of the Liberal and National Party are. In 2 years, there is zero policy. Another thought bubble by the Leader of the Opposition is converting CBD office buildings into accommodation. So not hotels that are ready-made, which the opposition have criticised, but we should look at converting those buildings at what cost, getting what tradies to do that in a time frame. I offer a pragmatic, real solution using ready accommodation, and the opposition criticises it. And when the opposition is pressed about their solution, and this was on ABC last year, the Honourable Steve Martin said, "I think we'll do maintenance." Since July 2020, our government has issued 500,000 maintenance work orders. We're already doing it. There is a stark contrast between this government that is looking and delivering pragmatic, real solutions and a complete and absolute policy vacuum by the other side.